Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we will be exploring some electrical installation. For example, how switches work and what you can do with the lights and some other neat tricks. So let's start and have a quick look at the switches first. Let's have a look at the first two switches. One is the button switch, the other is the wall switch. Once pressed, the button switch will send a pulse towards your device or your light that you have connected. The wall switch, however, will keep sending signal to your light or device you have connected. In case you wish to switch it off, then you have to also toggle off the wall switch. The inverter. As you can see, the inverter has three connection points. One is the input, one is the output, and the third one is which controls the inverter. As long as the inverter receives no power on the controlling point, it will keep on sending power to the device or light that has been connected. As soon as you power that control point, the inverter now will stop sending signal to here. Now the auto switch will keep sending signal to your light or device as long as it receives power on the control point. Another switch is the proximity switch. Now this one will activate as soon as you come nearby it. This is especially useful when installing doors or powered doors. The final switch is the floor switch. Now this switch will be activated as soon as you step onto it. And the power gets in here and is sent out to the light or the device connected to the other side. So these are the different switches and connections. Now combining these switches will help you to control the doors and powered doors. As you can see, the standard position of doors is open when they are not powered. As soon as these are powered, both the gate and the door will close. So just powering the doors and the powered doors is not an option. How can we make this work? Let's say we want to have these doors opening when we come near to them. As you know, we have a proximity switch that is activated as soon as you come in the proximity of the switch. If we, let's say, install the proximity switch here, and let's install it on top of there so it looks a bit out of the way. We connect the wire to the proximity switch and then from the proximity to the garage door. Now you see that the garage door closes as soon as we go nearby to it. But we want this door to open when we come nearby it. So we need to change the installation. Remember, we have a switch that reverses the signal. That is the power inverter. Now the power inverter is right here. Now let's turn this around so we can see it better. Remember, three connections: input, output, and the control switch. So what we need to do is we need to give power, and forgive my cabling here. So now we have powered the proxy switch and the inverter. The inverter will be connected to the powered door. And now the door already closes, because, as you can remember, the inverter will not turn off as long as it doesn't receive the control power. As soon we connect the control power to the proxy switch, and we come closer to the power door, it will automatically open up. Now, as you can see, this is an ugly mess. We don't want this to be hanging around your base. How can we make this look better? Let's remove this wall. We want to hide the wire inside the wall. Now, how do we do this? Is by connecting a new wire and then using the cursor to find the right spot inside the wall, like this. Now we can go even down, put it here, or let's say we want to do the cabling inside the flooring. That's also possible. We can just take the wire, go down, put it on the correct height, about here, and then place the cable here. And here you can now even move another floor, put more cable there, and then you place back the floor. And we place back the wall. And as you can see, the cable is no longer visible in this build. And as you saw, I did several connection points, which means I have here points where I can connect devices and switches on. For example, if you would put a light on the floor here, or replace the standing lights. As you can see now, since the synthesis update, we also have now connections to these standing lights, which before were only able to be used inside base builds, for example the cuboids or the cylindrical rooms. Now we can connect to this wire and have the lights working. But that's not what we were planning to do. We were planning to hide everything so we would not be having the proxy switch and inverter visible. So let's remove again this wall. Then we can place a half wall below here. We place the proxy switch and inverter now here. We take the power which we placed inside the floor and the wall, and we might have to pull it out a little bit. Let's see. No, that's okay. We power up the inverter, and we also give power to the proxy switch. The proxy switch will control the inverter, and the inverter will have to control the gate. Now we will first pull the cable here, and then we put it on the edge, and now we can put that one back here. Now, as you can see, the connection point of the power gate is right in the center on the top, which is a bit of a weird position. It would have been better if it was left or right on the bottom, but let's just try to make the best of it. Now, if we want to have this cable in the middle, let's just put this gate first, so you have an idea what I mean. If we put the gate, the powered door here, and I connect my wire to this, you will see this is not what we want. We want the powered cable to be as hidden as possible. So how we do that is, as we remember, as you know, the connection point is halfway the gate. So if we place a half wall and connect the wire and now place it right here, then remove the half wall again, then our wire is as good as in the middle. Now we put the gate back. All the wires are hidden now, and I connect this one to this one. And now even you see there is a little bit of cable visible. If you don't want to have it like this, you can also just do it differently, and you connect from there to that point, which means that your connection will look much better from here. And there we go. Now the gate will open up as soon as we come near it, but there's no visible switches or cables seen anymore. You might have seen some bases that have running lights or alternating lights. Now, how can we achieve this? Follow closely to how I'm connecting this installation. As we remember, the inverter only turns off his light as soon it receives power on the control point. Now, what would happen if we connect its own power output to its control point? Let's try. Now, as you can see, because the control point receives the same power of the output, the inverter makes a alternating signal. Now, this signal is approximately 1 second. Now, let's say we want to have it go a little bit quicker. Let's give power to this one, and let's give power to this one. Now, as you can see, this is another inverter, this is an auto switch. The inverter keeps giving power, the auto switch is waiting to receive signal. Here we have our alternating signal. If we would place the alternating signal on top of this inverter, we will receive the same signal as here, which is on and off every second. But if we connect this power line to this one, it will now make a quicker alternating signal. It is interesting to know that when you place pill lights together, they will use the power from the neighboring lights, at least when placed close enough together. This distance is too far, but if I would place it here, now all 3 lights will light up, and I only had to power this light. Or you can place a light on the back side of the wall and place a light on this side of the wall, and this light will be working without having to connect any wires to this light. And from here on you can keep on building lights as long as they are close enough together. These pill lights are quite versatile, as it is possible to face them together. You can just slide them inside each other . And by doing this, it looks like you just created a long light tube. And once again, we are at the end of another tutorial. I do hope you enjoyed them and can use some of these techniques in your own builds. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell and leave a comment if you have any other questions or remarks. Have a great day and see you next time.